Culture, heritage, memory, and identity, these things are all very closely linked, of course, and they're good things, right? They're good things. Well, 70 years ago, this continent of ours was a post-apocalyptic wasteland, and one of the reasons it was a wasteland was because of culture, memory, identity, heritage. To this day, over the period of history which separates us from that point 70 years ago, we've seen this happen again and again, that memory and heritage are used in a way which is pernicious. We've seen it in Northern Ireland, we saw it in Yugoslavia, and I think today we're seeing it in Ukraine. What is the body politic? And that is all about culture, heritage, memory, and identity. So these things are, of course, one of the central preoccupations of any politician, of any public body, and indeed of people like me who are charged with the job of communicating on behalf of public bodies. The European Parliament, I think, and who is better placed to do this, understands the power of culture. Now, I've talked about it largely in negative terms so far, but of course, it's also a unifying and enriching aspect of life. And this is something which spills over very much into the communications policy of the European Parliament. And this is going to be the House of European History. It is an attempt to do something actually quite radical and really very interesting, and something that I don't think any other museum or cultural institution is doing in Europe right now. And that is to step back and look at the history of Europe as the history of Europe, not an amalgam of national histories, which I think I can safely say most of us were brought up on. And it's an attempt, therefore, to find the threads, the common things that bind us together in terms of our history, but also to take a pluralistic view of history. That we have all these national myths, they are incredibly powerful and strong. But they coexist, and often when you look at one, if you look at another, you will learn to relativize and see the common dimension. And that, I think, is very much in the political agenda of the European Parliament. It's about who we are together, not who we are apart. It's not an attempt to promote a particular view. It's not the Hegelian process towards the constitution of the European Commission or the European Parliament or anything like that. It's about how did we get to the point we're at the moment, but when the thing is built and you go there, you will find it's also very much about what happens next. Where does this history that we have together, where does it lead us as its next staging point? What does it mean to be European? There are no easy answers to that. But the answers that we will find them in our collective memories, and we'll find them in our collective culture.